doing a bigger review of Doctor Who figures. It wasn't that I figured that it wasn't Doctor Who figure didn't come in today. It's probably next week or the week after. Alright. The figure review is the robot, and this one was in an episode called The Robots of Death. There was ones that sort of went bad. Then you had like one that was like a detective. And who ended up helping the Doctor. And there was also a guy that was sort of mad and thought he was a robot himself. He even put like stuff on his face to make him look like a robot. Which I'll show you. The fourth Doctor was up against these ones. Where is it? Put it here somewhere. Here. As you can see here. He was delusional. But of course, they caused havoc for the fourth Doctor, and he managed to stop them with the help of one of the detective robots. And stopped them, and so this figure now, see the way the costume was done is really good, but with the eyes, it apparently there was a slight problem, as it says, a vision impaired. The robot mask gave a limited view through tiny holes in the ornate eye sections. This lack of visibility was made even worse when the glowing eyes, pieces of blue or yellow card, were fitted over the eyes. So the actors in these costumes, which they were done really well, really well, they did have a slight problem. But they did a really good job. You know, this was in this episode from 19 in the 70s, and I mean, excellent on the costume, and you know, to to come up with a villain like this, and of course the Doctor eventually saved the day and stopped them. Um, or stop the madman that was behind it all. They did do a fantastic job on the costume, and even though the actors in it did have a slight problem, um, like a limited view with, especially when, as it says, the blue and yellow card, because when you see they go bad, their eyes sort of go red. If I can find a picture. I don't know if there's a picture here. Um, no, there's no picture. Um, there's no picture though. But as I said, they did do a fantastic job on the costume, and even though they did have a slight problem with the limited view, um, they did do a fantastic job, and this with this this figure, it's like they've done a really good job. You know, the ones that make these figures, um, and the whole like well, firstly the design of the costume um, was good. The way 1 minute they were fine, and then because this guy ended up tampering with the control and they went bad. Um, it was really good, and the story was good. They did an excellent job with the story, and this costume was good, really, really good. Um, and see, this is the thing with 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 um, with Doctor Who, especially when they think of new villains, and this was sort of sort of like a new villain, but there was more than one. Um, they did a really good job, really good job, and the costume, fantastic, fantastic on the costume, and that's what this figure, how it's got. You've got the shoes there, with all detail. See how they've got the detail there, and then you've got the detail, and you can sort of feel the costume. Chris Kale, hello. How are you going? How are you? Um, the detail on this, like you can feel it in sort of silver, and you've got that there, and I think like a band there. Um, and the face is green. Um, their eyes. 1 minute they're good, and then the next minute when they were, I think, tampered with, um, their eyes went red. Chris Kale, how are you? How you going? Um, and that's why that guy thought he was a like the was a thought he was a robot. Um, you there, Chris Gale? Hello, how are you? How you going? Thank you for the like and thank you for the shared, Chris. I appreciate that. So thank you. Um, but yeah, as you can see, the robot's face, and of course the guy thought he was a robot, painting his face, the eyes, silver around his eyes, and green on his face. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm okay, Chris. I'm preparing my dinner now. Oh, what are you having for dinner, Chris? So yeah, so it's a really good figure, and they've done a good job. And in that episode, which was in the 1977, the costume was done excellent costume, um, and the way they did the top here was done really well, and so the details pretty good, really good. The colors, there's like nothing wrong with the color. Nothing wrong with the colors at all. Um, just there would there'd be their number, so it'd be their name. So this would be SB7. Just just there, as you can see on the one on the front here, would have that. So as you can see there, then normal and fine. But then when the guy sort of tries to take control of them, cause a lot of problems for the doctor. They went red, and they were the type of villains that, you know, they weren't boring. They were excellent. They definitely thought it through, having this type of villain, because I've seen with the 13th Doctor, the villain in it, where I thought, oh, okay, new villain, fair enough. And then as soon as he takes his mask off, I noticed something in his face, and he's got takes teeth out of humans' mouths. Not a good villain. Very poor. Um, very poor. So yeah, this one, excellent. And that's why with the costume back then, with the costume and the design of the costume, I have to say, excellent job. Excellent. Even though the actors in the costumes did have a slight problem with the limited visual. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Definitely is a nice collection. And had a bit of trouble trying to see through the front, just there. Um, Even though they had that slight problem, um, they still did a good job. So that's why I think that with this particular character, the design of the costume was excellent, and this is why with this figure, detail, colors, perfect, nothing wrong with it, and So yeah, so that's figure the Super Vok. The robot was called. Now, in the next issue, um, which is 176, is a weeping angel there, which they first showed up in an episode um, with the 10th Doctor, and these were sort of, could you say, new uh, villains, and they even that they even those even this character, these the Weeping Angels, the design of the costume was perfect, just as the costume for this character, which was back in 1977, but done really well. Even though this is years later, and the makeup and costumes over time gets better and better and better. Um, these ones, these were um, probably one of the ones, the type of villains that, of course, in the show don't blink, because you blink and they move. Um, but they were the type of villains that I think were a bit scary, because they like when there'd be a light on, and they sort of affect the light, and if you blink, the light goes off, and then when it comes back on, they're moved, and they you know but that excellent costume. So that figure, even though I haven't got it yet, um, it definitely shows that that's um, that's even done well. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. So yeah, I think with costumes, design of costumes in this show, um, they do a good job. But then there's costumes that you think, why make a villain like that? Especially one that kills humans and takes teeth out of their mouths and sticks it in their face. Not a good idea. Um, but these weeping angels, they did show up again, and they showed up. There was an episode where he bumped into River Sung, which in the future ends up being his wife. Um, and they thought they stopped them by the. There's a lot of every time the Doctor would turn up in a different different sets of times. There'd be like a crack in the wall, and it'd be like a light coming through, and anyone that goes into it, other people would, you'd ask other people and go, they'd say, "Oh, who's that?" And and then they did show up in Manhattan, wreaked havoc. ended up having the Statue of Liberty uh, causing trouble because they took over and they the power, like they had this power, and they could have any type of statues. But yeah, yeah. So that's my review on the Super Voc, the SV7 robot. Excellent detail and the color, and this is a bit with the costume. That's perfect as well. Perfect costume. Um, the actors that were in the costumes did a fantastic job, even though they had a slight problem with limited vision, especially when they put like a blue or yellow card in the part where the eyepiece in the just in there. Um, but apart from that, they did a good job. So that is the um, figure, the episode, the robots of death, and yeah. So and then the next one is the Weeping Angels in 176. So yeah, that's about it. Early tomorrow morning, there'll be a Lego build. One that I was going to get was a Star Wars Imperial shuttle. Unfortunately, I couldn't get there because I couldn't find it. Didn't seem to have it. So I got a different Lego set. So early tomorrow morning I'll be doing that, and then have a bit of a break. I'm going to go to the plaza. Go to the plaza and get a couple of things, get something to eat, come home, have something to eat, drink, and then I'll do a build, the Bismarck, which where is it? Where is it? Which that part that I was talking about yesterday, the where the plate you can take off, the plate on the side of the ship has like a magnet. That is the part. They're all the parts are put together to put in so that when you move the plate, you can see inside. Now, the thing is, I could leave it like that colour, or I could find out on the net and see what colours that those parts are, and sort of paint them. Which I think there's a shop at Miranda. So I could do that, and then when you take the plate off, it's all painted and that. So I could do that because I know people that are ahead of me with the ship. I think they glue all the pieces together, then they put it on, and I don't think I mean they don't paint it, which that's fair enough. You know, you can either not paint it or paint it. So I'm going to find out what the colours for this part, and get the colours and paint it. So that's because I've got two other issues So I've got 3 issues. This has got a lot of pieces. So I definitely might I'll find out on the net and paint it. And that. So that is that. So the Terminator, there's I think there's one piece that goes at the back of the leg, top of the left leg, and then there's other pieces where I don't get to put on the left leg at the moment, and that's so. And the Spitfire, that's coming on nicely, and that's so. Next time I'll pick up some issues for that, and yeah. So, and I had something new to the channel that I did when I did a live stream today. I did on the Baby Yoda and that. So yes, so yeah, so that is the robot from the episode on 1977. Detail and the color perfect, and that. So there, and then behind, just there. So yeah, perfect. So yes, so that's what we'll be coming up doing tomorrow. Of course, there'll be a diamond art and sort of a build and pick a review and pick a review. There'll be a motorbike review and probably late tomorrow night. Gaming. Over the next few days after that, not sure. So yeah, so I'm going to go now, and thank you all for coming on, and take care and stay safe. Take care, Chris, and enjoy your dinner, and as I always say, don't forget to put a like, put a comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Take care, guys. Bye, Chris. See you guys. Bye now. Bye, Chris.